Welcome to NFL, where the NFL starts and ends. I'm your host, Jacob. And right after we got off the air, the Panthers have made a trade as they traded Robbie Anderson to the Arizona Cardinals for a 2024 6th round pick, as well as a 2025 7th round pick. Now, you're asking, why so little? Why also picks in a future draft, not in a draft that is coming up this coming off season? You ask, why is that happening? I'll tell you why. Robbie Anderson was disgruntled playing for the Panthers. The Panthers were having a really tough season. They hadn't played well. You have to go through the whole Matt Rule era. There's no success. I believe he was 11-25 as a coach. He was terrible. They couldn't do anything. The only thing that was keeping him there was his big contract, and they just said, you know what, we'll eat the money. We just need to get him out of here. And it didn't help that Robbie Anderson blew up at the interim coach and his staff, Coach Steve Wilkes and his staff, and they basically ejected Robbie Anderson from the sidelines. They said, no, go in the locker room. We don't want you. And then the next day, he was traded. Now, he did suit up for the Cardinals in the Thursday night game. Did not play a whole lot. Wasn't asked to do very much. But he was out there. And a very interesting trade idea that no one thought could happen. But Anderson, I think he felt, and the Panthers felt, he needed to get out of there. The Commanders quarterback Carson Wentz is out for 4 to 6 weeks with a hand injury. He actually dislocated his ring finger in the game against the Chicago Bears on Thursday Night Football. And you actually can see him on camera shaking his hand, trying to get the blood into it. I don't know if he thought it was a joint issue, and he thought if he just shaked it enough that the joint would release from being locked, but it's not what happened. He actually broke it. A very similar injury that Dak Prescott suffered earlier in the season, except not his thumb, his ring finger, as I said before. Now, quarterback, when you have, especially on your throwing hand, that's nearly impossible, because it changes the trajectory of your ball. You can't throw a spiral, and if you do, it hurts. It hurts anyway, but you try and throw it. Your ring finger and your index finger are the two. Your three fingers, your index finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger are the three fingers that come off the ball last, excluding the thumb in it, obviously. But they're the three fingers that let go of the ball last. That's going to hurt, especially when it's on your throwing hand. So he was shaking it, and you must have said to yourself, he's shaking it. And I was like, that's got to be painful. I don't know if you've had a dislocated or even a sprained finger before. That hurts. When shaking it like that, you're trying to get the blood into it, but it's actually making it worse. Because it's more like sloshing around in there. It's not stable at all. But he does face a 4 to 6 week recovery period. Taylor Heineke is the quarterback in his absence. The Arizona Cardinals had some bad news last week, as they may have lost their left guard Justin Pugh for the season with a knee injury. There was no real explanation of what the knee injury was, but they may have lost him for the season. Some interesting news happened over the owners' meeting, as you may have heard the confrontation between Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft, but it was a decision made. The Rams owner, Stan Kroenke, will be paying the city of St. Louis in their settlement $571 million for the St. Louis settlement of when the Rams moved from St. Louis to LA. That is out of $790 million settlement, which is about $32 million per owner. I don't like the fact that they're making every owner pay for it. To me, Dan Kroenke should be the one paying for it. Or at least most of it. Like 500, he could probably have paid more than that. But he's only going to pay, he's going to pay $571 million of it. The NFL and Amazon Prime in 2023 are going to have a Black Friday game the day after Thanksgiving. It's going to be around 3 o'clock East Standard Time. And I think it's going to be a good idea. I think they should improve on this. The fact that you just started recently doing 3 games on Thanksgiving, do one on Black Friday. Because why not? People are going to be on Amazon anyway, or on various other platforms. Put it on. See what happens. If it doesn't work, okay. If it does work, great. And finally, longtime tight end Delanie Walker has retired after 14 seasons in the NFL, playing for the Titans for the majority of his career, but also with the 49ers in the beginning of his career. Walker thanked both fan bases, but he thanked the Titans fan base for taking him in and welcoming him into Tennessee. A great tight end who will be in the Hall of Fame. Delanie Walker retires after 14 NFL seasons.